Welcome to Shivers Before Sleep, the place where we dive deep into the darkest corners of true crime, unsolved mysteries, and chilling stories that will leave you sleepless. Tonight, we're going to explore some terrifying true crime cases that still haunt the families involved, and have haunted anyone who dares to learn about them. These stories are not only twisted but have remained unsolved or unresolved, feeding the minds of those who wonder, what really happened? Our first story takes us to a winter night in 1945, in Fayetteville, West Virginia, where a fire raged through the Sodder family home. But what should have been a simple tragedy quickly turned into one of the most puzzling disappearances in American history. George and Jenny Sodder were a hard-working couple with 10 children, and on that fateful night, they put their kids to bed, unaware of the horror that would unfold. A fire broke out, consuming their house in minutes. But when the fire department arrived, there was something chillingly wrong. No remains of the 5 children who were supposed to be in their rooms could be found. Now, this could have been an unfortunate accident, but the evidence didn't add up. The fire was started, they believe, by faulty wiring, yet no bodies were found in the wreckage. It gets worse. The phone lines were cut before the fire started, and witnesses later claimed to have seen strange figures near the house around the time of the fire. Even stranger still, a few years later, the Sodders received a mysterious letter with a photo of one of their missing children, believed to be alive. And it wasn't just a prank. The faces in the photo matched exactly with their son, Louis. Despite countless investigations and a private investigator hired by the family, the whereabouts of the 5 missing Sodder children remain unknown. Was it an abduction? Or something far more sinister? Today, the Sodder family still seeks answers, and the mystery remains one of the most chilling unsolved cases in American history. Can you imagine the fear and torment of having no answers about your children for over 70 years? Now, we take you to one of the most bizarre cases of the 21st century. In 2013, Elisa Lam, a 21-year-old Canadian tourist, was found dead in a water tank on the roof of the Sill Hotel in Los Angeles. But what happened in the days leading up to her death still baffles investigators. Elisa had been traveling alone, but her journey took a dark turn when she started acting strangely in a hotel elevator. Security footage from the hotel's elevator shows her entering, pressing random buttons, and peering out of the elevator like she was looking for someone. She seemed agitated, almost as if she was being followed, but there was no one else in the elevator. She disappears after this eerie elevator footage, and days later, guests at the hotel started to complain about the water pressure, finding their tap water to be black and foul-tasting. When maintenance workers finally checked the water tank, they discovered Elisa's lifeless body inside. The strangest part? Elisa was a petite young woman, and the water tank was not easy to access. It would have taken significant strength to open the heavy lid. Was it an accident? Or was there something far more sinister at play? To this day, the cause of Elisa Lam's death remains a mystery. The police ruled it accidental drowning, but theories still abound, including foul play, mental health struggles, or even paranormal involvement, given the hotel's notorious history of deaths, suicides, and strange occurrences. Next, let's delve into another chilling disappearance, the case of Brian Schaefer, a 27-year-old medical student from Ohio who vanished in 2006 under the most bizarre circumstances. Brian was last seen on April 1, 2006, celebrating a night out with friends at a bar in Columbus. But what makes his disappearance so unsettling is the fact that he was caught on security cameras entering the bar, but never leaving. The footage shows him walking into the bar with friends, and then, he seemingly disappears into thin air. Even more disturbing, the cameras show Brian walking up to the entrance of the bar, but no footage of him leaving ever appears. His friends thought he had just stepped outside, but when they went to look for him, he was gone. No sign of him anywhere. Extensive searches were conducted, but Brian Schaefer was never found. Not a trace. No body, no clues. To this day, the case remains unsolved, and Brian's disappearance continues to haunt his family, friends, and the city of Columbus. What happened to Brian Schaefer? Was he taken by someone, or did he somehow vanish into thin air? Now, we journey back in time to one of Germany's most gruesome and unsettling true crime stories. In 1922, a family of 6 living on a remote farm in the Hinterkaifeck area of Bavaria was brutally murdered. The Gruber family, Andreas, his wife, their daughter, and her children, were found slaughtered inside their home. But the truly horrifying part? The killer may have been living in the house with them for days before the murders occurred. The family reported hearing strange noises in the attic and footsteps in the house before the massacre. But they never suspected that the killer could be so close, watching them. After the murders, the murderers' strange behavior continued. The killer, whoever they were, lived in the house for several days after the murders, feeding the animals, using the household supplies, and even sitting at the table eating meals. No one knows why. Despite several suspects, including a servant and neighbors, no one was ever convicted of the crime. The Hinterkaifeck murders remain one of the most unsettling unsolved cases in history, and the eerie circumstances surrounding them continue to fascinate criminologists and horror enthusiasts to this day. From families ripped apart by unsolved disappearances to killers lurking in the shadows, these cases have left deep scars on the victims and everyone who dares to delve into their mystery. What do you think? Are these crimes the result of human evil, or is there something more sinister at play? If you're brave enough, leave your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more spine-tingling stories on Shivers Before Sleep. Sleep tight, if you can.